Are you looking to upgrade your Canon M3, or maybe you're looking for the best Canon mirrorless camera? Well, today I'm going to be talking about a review of my brand new Canon M6. Let's check it out. Hey, what's up guys? It's Diana here with Untitled TV, helping transition your passion into the business that you love. And on this channel, we talk about small business development tips to help you grow and develop in your small business. But we also do tech kind of reviews like we're doing today so that you can also know the right tools to use in your small business. So if that's something that can potentially help you, consider subscribing. So today I'm going to be talking about my brand new Canon M6, and you're actually looking at the footage right now. I'm actually recording right now with the Canon M6, but this is of course the box that it came in. Nothing too special about this, but the Canon M6 is loaded with all kinds of incredible features. So let's jump into some of the specs. So the Canon M6 is actually an APS-C or crop sensor camera. So what that means is that it's going to be a little bit smaller than some of the full frame sensors, but not anything too much to be concerned with. It has the Wi-Fi, NFC, and Bluetooth capabilities, as well as the HDMI out port and an external microphone jack. High footage on this camera gets up to 1920 by 1080p, up to 60 frames per second. Now, this can be a bit of a letdown for some people, simply because most people are looking for a camera that also has 4K. So if you're looking for a camera that has 4K, the M6 may not be for you. However, don't let that deter you. This camera is jam-packed full of just specs and really great features. That's great whether you're new to photography or cinematography, or it's something that you're just looking to add on to your already growing love of video. Now, some people are a little upset, otherwise this may be the perfect vlogging camera for them, but it doesn't have 4K. Now, you have to have, the camera that can handle it, not the camera, but the computer that can handle it, enough memory cards. Maybe you need a special memory card for some cameras so that it can handle the 4K footage, as well as a monitor that may be able to help with that as well. So there are a couple extra things that come with wanting a camera with 4K. But if you're wanting one that has it, the M6 actually doesn't have it. But don't let that deter you. This camera has amazing features. It also has a rubberized coating, but it's not actually waterproof. But one of the things that everybody loves about Canon's cameras is the dual pixel autofocus. And what that means is that I can put this box up here, it's going to focus on it and you can see it, you can clearly read it, and then within a second, if that, or a microsecond, you can see my face again. So just to show you that again, just to see how quickly this thing can focus on content, on different materials and stuff like that, and then boom, the autofocus system is right back there. So Canon has definitely set the bar pretty high. The only one I'm saying that's really keeping up with the high intensity of autofocus is Sony. Sony is just one of Canon's biggest competitors right now, but a lot of people, again, feel like they're dropping the ball not having 4K. But this isn't a 4K conversation. This is all about the M6. So let's jump into more on this video. So one of the things most people want is a camera that has also pretty good capabilities when it comes to low light. Now, the ISO, the native ISO on this particular camera goes up to 25,600. Now, that's pretty good considering that most are expandable to that, like the Canon 80D. And actually, all of the features that I just mentioned so far about this Canon M6 are the exact same features that the Canon 80D, which a lot of people love. If you're familiar with Casey Neistat, how could you not be familiar with him? Casey Neistat actually used the Canon 80D, loved it, and these are the exact same settings, as well as the exact same Digic 7 processor that's built into, which is pretty much the brain of the camera. It's all the same up to this point with the Canon 80D. So the Canon M6 can actually fire off 9.2 continuous frames per second when you're taking pictures. So it has the ability to capture some pretty good motion on the fly as far as just all the pictures, and it's very tack sharp, and it does an awesome job with it as well. So this camera actually does have Wi-Fi, NFC, or near field communication, as well as Bluetooth capabilities, and the app is pretty awesome when you're talking about connecting your phone to the camera to be able to take images or what have you. I actually was going to invest in a little remote that would allow me to be able to take different pictures as well as start video like I did with the Canon T5i, but this app makes this unnecessary. So already built in with the free Canon camera app, I'm able to take pictures, adjust the settings on the camera. I can turn the camera off even from my phone, as well as start these videos using just my cell phone. So this is pretty amazing stuff, and it actually kept me from having to invest in an actual remote to be able to function the camera. So the battery life for the Canon M6 is actually pretty decent. Now, it depends on what you're doing. If you're running and gunning, vlogging for the day, you're cutting it on intermittently throughout the day, so it's going to last you quite a bit of time, as well as taking images. I've heard reports of up to 4.5, maybe 5 hours of continuous photography, again, just over time, taking pictures, and it's working out pretty well. But just recording, I tested out the camera and I was able to get the battery to go for a continuous hour, a little bit more than an hour, but right at an hour you're safe, and you're able to actually see the meter up on the camera so that you know exactly where you are throughout the day. Now, I actually invested in some aftermarket batteries, these old Proda batteries here that come in with 2 different batteries, or 2 of these batteries, as well as a charger. And the charger has a USB port. It actually hooks into it hooks into the wall jack. It hooks into anything with a USB port, or you can even use like what I'm using right now, which is an inland power adapter. And so I can use this to actually charge these batteries, and I tested these out as well, and these will also run for the exact same time as the native Canon batteries for, half the price. These, for 2 of these batteries plus the charger, cost me $24. So this isn't a bad investment at all. And as always, all of the links to everything that I'm talking about will be linked down below in the description. So what are some of the biggest downfalls when it comes to the Canon M6? Honestly, I personally have not found any. I haven't found any things that are really standing out to me, and I wanted to take my time and actually go through, test this camera out, try it out in the daytime, run it on auto, or have custom settings like I do when I'm shooting right now. Try it at 60 frames per second, 1080p. Right now, I'm just at 24 frames per second, 1080p. Try it at 30 frames per second. I've tried every setting just about going through the different cameras. So what don't I like about this camera? There's not anything that bothers me about this particular camera. This camera is amazing. Really, the reason why I upgraded, or what made the final nail in the coffin from me upgrading from the M3 and the T5i to the M6, the autofocus. Without question, again, just being able to simply do something like this and you can see it, you can make and point out this information, all of that would be blurry, and then right now I'm in focus. And so being able to do things like that, or grab something like this and you'd be able to see it, let me adjust it, get some light on there so you can see it, and then boom, the focus is right back there. Being able to record on the fly, being able to capture those moments. Also looking forward to doing interviews in the future and wanting to have everyone in focus. Even if I don't have someone behind the camera, it's not a chance that I was willing to take, and the M6 definitely follows through. So one of the biggest issues that most people have is the camera not having 4K video. What is Canon thinking of? Well, here is my interpretation with this. I believe that with all of the different cameras that are out there, I believe Canon may be waiting to make sure that they can release a camera that does not have overheating issues when it comes to video in 4K. Otherwise, I think that they would just literally consider doing a firmware upgrade or update on the cameras so that you can be able to do it. Some of the cameras that are coming out, it's like the Mark III, Mark IV, or Mark V, if they have that released out. But those different higher end Canon cameras, even though some of those don't have 4K, but they do have the ability. It has some parts of 4K turned on, like for photography, and not so much for cinematography, maybe for the time-lapse feature or something like that. And so it's definitely possible. I think maybe they just aren't willing to take that leap like Sony was and say, hey, even though it overheats, you can only get about 20-25 minutes with Sony going 4K. It's worth it. Give it to the people. Let them decide if they want it. And the market has gone wild over. And a lot of people switched over from Canon and Nikon over to Sony or Panasonic simply because of the 4K features. Now, since we're here talking about the M6, again, for a lot of people, average users, maybe beginning YouTubers, they're not too focused on doing 4K. It's helpful or it's nice to have, but is it an actual necessity? I don't think so. So if you need 4K, you may want to consider a different camera, but this is absolutely an incredible camera and a great backup camera if you're looking for something to use that is reliable. Okay, so question of the day. What do you like or dislike most about the Canon M6 feature? So let me know down in the comments below and actually join in the conversation with the startup community. But if this is your first time watching the video, or if you've watched a couple videos and you haven't subscribed yet, definitely consider subscribing. We have small business development tips as well as other tech tips just to kind of help you along the process in operating and running your small business so that you don't waste money or time when you are going through the process of operating your own small business, and that takes time. So definitely consider subscribing and joining the startup community. But as always, my friends, live with passion. I will see you guys on the next video. For most beginning and average users, it's lint, what the heck? Okay, let's do this again. What's up, guys? Today, okay, let's do this again. Are you considering upgrading your camera to the Canon M6? Okay.